It's okay, good. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Your sexy angel Arcene is here to tell you once again, I'm an angel. I do not reproduce with humans. That's considered blasphemy. How are we all feeling today? So,
Good,
speaking
good.
of blasphemy, what's up?
No, go ahead.
No, what's up?
I was just saying, good. Things are good. That's all.
Oh, okay. Speaking of blasphemy, Pope Francis has a great message for all of you. It's that he has now decided to sponsor our podcast. Remember, ladies and gentlemen, the Catholic Church is the only church, and it knows what's right for you. Pope Francis said so, including what's right for your borders, your country, all told to you by an old man in a robe who never has to do a day of work in his life, because we need progress. Remember, support the Catholic Church by donating to your local church, or even better, just pay Vatican City directly, because Vatican City is not paid for by the rest of the Catholic community, but by selling coins, because that is the holy way. Jesus, he was the biggest capitalist of them all, selling everything that his followers gave him. I mean, that dude, he was an OG. So
The
please,
Catholic Church also knows what's good for children too.
yes, 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 they do. They especially know how to keep that anal health right there intact.
Oh.
Oh man, oh boy, how much wrath do you think we're going to get smited with in court?
Well, I mean, the supported part, I don't know, endorsed by part, but I mean, the children part is pretty well documented by now.
They might be like, Your Honor, there were not that many rapes. There's only
Ones that we've allowed to come to light, at least.
Your Honor, our Pope here heard this clip and he cried all night, and I had to rub his back until he fell asleep. We deserve compensation.
Mm.
Just like his whole argument is like hurt feelings, and then also like the blue-haired judge just says guilty.
Well,
Yeah, that would be pretty depressing, I think. Speaking of which, let's get into today's topic, Brett Kavanaugh. So, Brokenar, why don't you let the audience know kind of what we were talking about off air, within of course certain privacy. Go ahead.
I mean, it was just the giant clusterfuck that was basically the hearing. I mean, basically both sides were being dishonest. The Democrats trying to slow it down as much as possible, the Republicans trying to speed it up as much as possible, and just no middle ground basically between any of this. And then you were talking about you like looking into the Devil's Triangle, and it probably not referring to to a drinking game.
Oh.
And it's just, and also basically like evidence wise, it's like there wasn't much. It's just like, because I mean, again, it's like the all the people there at the was it the three people or so that she named, nobody remembers the incident. And then there was the really crazy uh Avenatti witness or whatever, who's like, oh, I was regularly going to like 10 different parties where gang rapes were occurring and I didn't say anything.
Yeah, that is how you know a friend. Ashley, help me! I'm sorry, I'm just here to observe and not talk. Can you give me like a new line? I'm being raped. I know.
Well, I mean, it wasn't even like somebody said they were raped. It was like she's like, oh, there was people standing around outside the door, so obviously a gang rape was occurring. Like,
Yeah.
no, that's not how it works, sweetheart.
Yeah, I mean, I literally witnessed a rape a few about 30 minutes ago when I was at a police station, and I saw these two men standing outside the door. It was clearly rape.
Yeah, it was occurring inside the police station, right?
Yeah, and by the way, these two officers were female, so this young boy was clearly getting raped by these horrible, physically fit young, like 128-pound soaking wet women. These are clearly rapists. I mean, you can't trust women. You just have to believe them. Wait, hold on. Fuck. I need the devs to reprogram my mind.
I mean, it's just, yeah, and even the Democrats were like, yeah, Avenatti's story kind of sunk it because there was a couple, what was it, like two Republicans who were kind of holding out. It was like what, Flake and some other Republican woman or whatever, and they're like, this is ridiculous. Like this woman's story is absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah, it definitely. Although it makes you, I think it brought a smile to my face because it just showed how when two parties, both of whom want to fuck each other over, keep going after each other, how eventually the truth will come out. Like I said, it's like that one Bible verse, and I know some people are going to, well, bro, come on, Bible, man, dude, really, come on, we're talking about the Bible, Then T.J. Kirk just walks in and says, "There."
Mhm.
The amazing atheist.
Yeah.
I mean, he is amazing. I mean, I can't believe he has had type 2 diabetes for that many years and he's still alive.
hmm
He's amazing, man. He's amazing.
Yeah, and he also, well, takes his potassium rectally.
That's great. He should have a T-shirt. Actually, fuck it. We should make a T-shirt with like his face on the front, and just saying like, "I take my potassium rectal."
Oh God.
I mean, he might sue us for like using his likeness, but I don't care. He'll give us tons of attention. And his
God.
excuse was he realized, oh, I can't hide this. His excuse was, you guys should have known that I was a sick, twisted fuck. Like that was his excuse for shoving a banana up his ass. but then he has the ability to call people like unscientific and illiterate and stupid. Okay, okay. That's a interesting way you've worded that.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, yeah, and, I gotta say though, back to the whole Kavanaugh thing. Like, this is something we were talking about, and my theory is that they probably did have a sexual relationship, like Ford and Kavanaugh. And when you listen to the manifesto and everything, it clearly sounds like they were involved in some dark, deviant, behavior that is just like, ooh, some really dark shit. And so I was thinking about it. I was thinking, if Miss Blasey Ford if Christine Blasey Ford, the doctor who was a psychiatrist, by the way, for those who don't know, if she was involved in that kind of dark shit, perhaps the left does have more of a reason to make her look like the innocent one rather than Brett's, even if they, let's say, both admitted to having a sexual relationship, but she said that maybe she felt kind of a little bit violated. She is a psychiatrist with a family who's in her 50s who talks like this. She's a white woman. She has long blonde hair. She's wrote in many psychology books. She is kind of, someone who can't really be looked at as improper. Same with Judge Kavanaugh. He's a judge. Think about that. A judge, someone we hope to make rational decisions, talking about, perhaps putting a certain long appendage into a orifice, if you want the full description, while another pal of his does a very similar action on the other side. That probably would not bode well for either one of them. But I could just imagine them making up excuses for her. Like in today's and age, you can't say it wasn't. It wasn't rape. It was consensual. You have to say, I never had sex with her. Like, imagine that. We've gone from, you know, it was a consensual, man. It was, we've gone from you need consent to you need to be the type of person who will never change her mind about whether she liked it or not.
Mhm.
You know,
I mean, the thing is, like, well, I mean, I don't know. I don't know about me personally. I don't know about them actually having a sexual relationship. But I mean, the thing
there's
was
no
that,
guarantee. It's just
huh?
kind of a well, there's no guarantee, but if you look at the evidence, it just seems kind of like it could very much happen. It's more of a theory than anything else.
Mhm.
Go on.
But I mean, there's just, I mean, there's just no physical evidence. There's no testimony. It's just, what do you do? Like, there's effectively, it's like you need to be innocent until proven guilty, because otherwise, like, anybody accuses you and you're guilty. I mean, and the other thing is just like,
And broken heart, do you have a lot of money in your account?
wait, what?
Are you a rich person?
I mean, I'm not rich, I wouldn't say, no, but
Oh, good. Okay. Okay. Great. 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 Fantastic. Officer, broken heart raped me.
yeah, yeah. And the other thing is, in regards to this, I think Tim
He
Pool
did.
did a video.
For those listening,
Uh,
for those listening, he didn't. He didn't. It was a joke. Just relax. We were joking. Okay. No, bro. Do not call the police on broken heart. Leave him alone. Leave him alone.
but anyways, but the other thing is, like, Tim Pool showed some polling that it might indicate that this whole entire incident actually backfired on the Democrats, because they're just, again, there's no evidence, there's no anything, and they're saying yes, it did happen, when again there's no witnesses, there's no evidence, there's no, I mean, we don't even know what fucking house. Like, it's like, it happened somewhere in some house. I don't know when. I don't know the day. I don't know. It's like, like,
Like, what is this? Criminal Minds?
I don't fucking know. Because I mean, again, it's like, again, it's like, so doesn't know the year. I think, like, doesn't know the year. Doesn't know the play. Like, it's just.
Yeah.
What do you say to that?
Like, at some point, you just go like, "Oh, you're full of shit." You're like,
So,
what else do you do? What else do you do? At some point, you just have to be like, "Oh, this bitch is crazy."
I mean, if you can't narrow it down to what month it occurred, let alone the year, if I recall correctly, she can't narrow down the year. Or sorry, with sitting in with a lawyer, she finally came up with a year, I think. But
Oh,
initially, she didn't know what year it was,
right. For this,
and it's just like, like, there's nothing. There's no there's no veracity to something like that.
I always think to myself, about these kind of things, and just think, the fact that this was able to get to the level it was able to get to really shows you how overly bureaucratized and inefficient our government can be. Like, because this right away could have been a much smaller hearing instead of in front of Congress, which is exactly what the Democrats wanted. And the worst thing, like, here's the thing: I have openly called out the Republicans and even conservatives when I think they're just being dishonest, or when I think they have a very neocon or angry agenda towards innocent people. But this just really shows you that if this is a big enough celebrity of any kind that could be harmful to the status quo, if this case should have been over like that, like within a week tops,
Mm-hmm.
because of how little evidence there actually was. How it could have been a hearing, and at the hearing they would have been like, okay, all your testimonies are shit. There is no room for reasonable doubt. Sorry.
Well, I mean, but then there's, well, they were purposely delaying it because there was the whole. I mean, I honestly do not believe her story where she's like, "Oh, I was afraid of flying." I'm sorry, but she like on a yearly basis flew on like at least once a year flew, and it's just like, no, that was just blatantly false.
And how do you prove a negative? Like, I was afraid of flying. How do you prove that? How do you prove you chemically react in a negative way to being in an
Well, I
aircraft?
mean, the thing is, like, okay, if she didn't fly a lot, like, if she flew, like, I don't know, like once every 5 years or something, like, she basically, or like, there's documented proof of her driving, like, hey, instead of flying, I drove like 2 days or whatever to get to this place. Okay, fine. That's some at least backing up, some evidence, like, hey, I'm driving for hours on end when I don't have to in order to avoid flying. Like, that, okay, I would believe her story if she did that on at any time or some kind of regular basis. But if you're flying once a year, like I haven't flew once a year.
I don't have the money to fly once a year.
Yeah, exactly. I think most people don't fly when I mean like because like most Americans they don't have the money to fly. They get their RV camper, they go drive for like a day or two to some place and they go camping or like something along those lines, fun family whatever. uh in an RV or whatever. It's like
National
not,
Lampoon Vacation. National Lampoon Vacation.
yeah, or whatever. They go for a couple of day weekend or whatever, or in single father's case, they go out into the desert and start cooking meth. But that's a different story.
Oh yeah, yeah. Well, come on, man. I mean, he has cancer. How is he going to pay for his treatment?
Right?
I
But
am the danger.
but anyway, so it's like most people go in RVs and stuff like that, and they don't go far from their homes. This person is flying literally every year.
Mhm. Like, at what point do you just call bullshit? Like, first off, like I said, for all we know, she could have been in that plane every single time, every single year, and been terrified, but done it anyway. Okay, first off, there's no way we would ever know that unless we can be fucking mind readers. But come on, this is like someone saying,
Not only
"I
that,
ate
but
sausage." No,
think
no,
of this though.
I ate sausage.
Think of this. Think of this. She's willing. Okay, she said it was her civic duty to testify, right?
Mhm.
So that means she places vacation time over her civic duty. If this is all true, if what she was saying was true,
Mhm.
because she didn't want to fly or delayed flying because she was afraid of flying, whereas she just flew for her vacations. Like,
I mean,
come on.
now let's even think about this: the attitude you would have to have in order to fly for vacation, um, and be afraid is just so fucking weird. Because if this is your duty, nobody wants to do stuff, but they force themselves to do things they don't want to do. If it means their lives will be improved, or if it means that their lives will be worse if they don't, oh, I need to fly, even though I don't like flying, because I need to see my son being born. The
Mhm.
attitude you have when you go on vacation is always work and obligations and civic duties are behind me. I am doing something that I want to do the way I want to do it. Imagine that. Hey guys, like, you know what? Come on, bro. I just want to relax, okay? I want to go on this giant metal aircraft and scream my head off as I'm terrified of flying. And just have a little vacation time, bro.
I mean, the other thing was in regards to all this, she
Who would,
dropped.
who would travel? Who would travel to their vacation spot the way they hate it the most?
Mm.
But
Um, and the other thing is like she immediately after she got confirmed, boom, dropped everything.
oh my god,
She's
yeah,
done. She got her $1 million in GoFundMe stuff, and she's done.
yeah. I mean,
I
that's
thought it was her civic duty to like, yeah, because I mean, like the thing is, like, let's say she actually, if it's her civic duty and stuff like that, he can be impeached if he actually did something wrong. High crimes and misdemeanors is grounds for impeachment. So if he actually did something, he can be impeached. Like it wouldn't have to be over. But as soon as he got confirmed, boom, it's gone. She dropped her lawsuit.
And actual legitimate rape is a felony, which is worse than a misdemeanor. He could absolutely be impeached, maybe even just put in jail. Not even
it's sexual. The allegation is sexual assault.
Right. Well, at this point, it wouldn't be so surprising if it would just turn to rape. You know what I mean?
Well, I mean, a bunch of people on Twitter said it was rape. It's not. It's not like rape is a specific definition.
Mm-hmm. Like okay, so if I go up to a girl and I trip and I push on her breast as I fall down, I'm trying to grab something, and maybe I also try to grab maybe like a pole to keep myself from falling, and I fail grabbing on either one. Like that's what you do when you're about to fall. You grab onto anything near you, like in a crowded area, like at a party or something, and I just fall and I hit her and I hit it, and my face goes face first into some dude's ass, and I just fall down. That is actually more sexual assault, more vividly than what she was describing, because she couldn't even fully describe what the sexual assault was. Like what?
It was like what Copperfield basically on the and it was holding down though too. Remember was the other allegation too.
Yeah. Why are you holding me down? Just because I like women who are held down. Wait, are you gonna put your penis in me? No, I just like looking at women when I hold them in one place for a bit. I once was in line and I held a girl's arms in place for 5 hours. It was the best night of my life.
Mm-hmm.
No, go ahead. No, I'm sorry.
Well, no, I was just saying. I mean, technically, the allegation is a little worse than that because of the holding down and all this other stuff. Because you tripping and falling is literally like a brush pass, and you fell.
Yeah,
because you fell.
Well, right, but I mean, the validity behind it is a little bit more solid than whatever she was saying.
I mean, the validity, the better validity would be, hey, this guy fell on me. This date, this time, this place. Hey, by the way, there's like 10 people who saw him plant his face.
Exactly, but like she was like, I don't remember the time, I don't remember the year, I don't remember the place. I just know it was his voice. I remember.
I really hated the press saying, oh, blanking memories and stuff like that is part of sexual assault. Yeah, but it's not that like come on, like that vague. Like holy shit, like that's really really vague. Like I can understand like certain parts or whatever, sure, but like every single timestamp around the event is blanked. There's nothing of this. And it's just like, no.
Hey, come on! I mean, I just can't. I can't remember.
I mean, like, I would at least expect somebody to know the year that it happened.
I would think that you would like. Let's say we went on full on like dark shit on the internet kind of rape, like let's say this wasn't sexual assault. Let's say this was rape, or better yet, let's keep it to sexual assault. Let's say he pushed her up against the wall with her ass like rubbing against his crotch, and just went like ripped it straight open and just started feeling her up, being like, "Hey baby, how you doing?" And then she pushes her off and runs out of the room. He doesn't penetrate, but it's like that. I'm just trying to think of the most cartoonish situation that every single far leftist and communist leaning soy boy would think about. Like, oh my god, and then all of a sudden you hear down, 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 down. The Law and Order song. If that was the case, I would never forget the year that happened. Like how in God's name would you ever forget that? It seems like the opposite. It seems like, I don't even remember I don't remember where. I'd be like, I want to, like, when I look back at the house, if that were to happen to me and I was a chick, I would remember that thing and have nightmares about it. Like, how would you not like remember
You would
anything?
at the very least remember the year. At the very least. Like, I mean, because yeah, I mean, you would probably, because there's all kinds of behaviors and stuff like that that happen after these things, and this is documented and stuff like that, and you would remember this, like, like, I mean, the only thing is like basically the only way this would have if it happened would be like it happened and she just didn't. It wasn't big enough for her to even remember about.
Yeah, and that would be very, 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 very interesting. Like, oh, this like if it's that milk toast and vanilla and not important to her, like I'm, an honest person, which she clearly is not, who just would not even show up to court. She's like, I don't care. Like, just what, you know what? Is there any, is there any, um, is there any surprise as to why men are MGTOW based on this alone? Like, this is not just like this is not just any high profile person. This is not just like say a politician. This isn't say a rock star or a movie star. This isn't like Harvey Weinstein. This is a lawyer. No, sorry, not well. He probably was a lawyer at some point, but this is a judge. A judge, someone who knows the law, someone who has presided over hearings, someone knows what they're talking about when it comes to winning legal battles. And not only did they go full force into this, but they had a good chance. They came very close to ruining this guy's life, and it really shows you just how far we're willing to go to believe someone when nothing is going on. I have a feeling that part of the reason why these far leftists believe what they believe is because they don't have anything going on in their lives. Like their lives are boring, shitty, uninteresting, and they're very uninteresting people. And
Well,
because how does it get to the points where you can look at someone who knows the law, who knows how to ruin you and how to win every single case? This would be like going to I don't know, to like the lawyer for Lehman Brothers and being like, hey, I don't care about your bank. I just want to go after you and I will win. And then getting it like being a national headline and coming close to actually winning with no legal experience. Like, how the fuck does that happen?
well, I mean, okay,
It can only
I don't know about. I mean, because you're talking about his position as a judge and stuff like that. I don't think that should really matter as to his credibility or anything like that. But
well, I'm not saying his credibility so much. Obviously, judges and authority can definitely misuse it for their own selfish needs. But I'm saying here's the thing. This wasn't the same kind of allegations that they could have planned out. They this could have been done by like a group of people who wanted to ruin somebody's life. Let's say a judge like Kavanaugh, and they could have had it where maybe I don't know, maybe they have a hooker or something like that to try to tempt him. They could have on this out. They, there's so many things that they could have done that are circumstantial that could have made it seem a little bit more credible. But the fact that like someone as uncredible as the Blasey Ford in this case was able to do this, and that they're to a judge, really shows you how actual testimony was thrown out the window and how it was all about feelings. I say this in that him being a judge doesn't make him immune to this, but there are so many things they could have done. They could have planted evidence, I mean, like dirty panties, or they could have.
well, I mean, this was like 30 years ago. I don't think they're gonna stay there.
No, I'm saying, but they could have said it was recent or something. Try to get him, say, maybe a secretary of his or something like that. Maybe she's around him all the time. She's, maybe she could get a sandwich he bit, and then get the DNA to go on to something like panties or something. There are so many different ways that they could have made the general public more likely to believe it. Like
Right. Well,
falsifying evidence.
which is a good point.
I'm not saying they should. I'm not saying they should. But at this point, we know they will. I mean, come on.
Oh, I
They
mean, well, the thing is, like, that's a good point in regards to like that's why I don't give as much weight to like some of these things. Like it was all planned out by the Democrats, and they had this master plan, or because like this is a really shitty master plan, like really really shitty master plan.
yeah.
Um, but
Yeah.
the thing was, in regards to you're talking about like far leftists and stuff like that. An interesting theory, is that because
What
uh
they
because
want
we know from like
to
Hollywood and journalists, newspapers and stuff like that, that there have been a high number of cases of these predatory people. Is perhaps these people live in high predatory environments where,
this is
hey,
normal
the male feminists are copping a feel and intimidating people and all kinds of other stuff like that, and that's why they have this,
mentality.
these left leaning people or far left leaning people have, this this mentality of like we're surrounded by sexual predators and stuff like that.
Because they specifically are. They in Hollywood and in these elitist positions are, but that's it. That's not normal America or
Yeah,
most people. Like they are living.
something along those lines. Yeah, because I mean, like, think about it. Like the Hollywood casting couch is notorious.
Yes. I mean, like that's actually where it came from in porn. Like in porn, like you would already have probably been hired because people enjoyed watching your erotic display, and then they would have a video called the casting couch, which is a parody of Hollywood doing that. You know, in a like a in like a what's it called? Not cohesive, not conspiracy. It means you force. It means you don't. It means you indirectly force someone to feel pressure.
Coerced.
Coerced, yes, like in a coerced fashion. Like that's where it came from. That's like, you know, or even like other porn parodies are like my boss tells me to suck his dick, or in non-porn based stuff there's tons of movies where young starlet comes to Hollywood and now she's underage but she has to bang her producer to get her first role.
I mean,
It's
one of the other.
so funny that the people who constantly say we need to support women are the only
Mhm.
ones probably in the country who regularly create a rape culture.
I mean, the other thing is, I think it was Rose McGowan. I don't quote me on this exactly, but if I recall correctly, it was Rose McGowan was the one who was like, "Oh, I got coerced by Harvey Weinstein or whatever," and then after that, she like dated him for 2 years.
Uh,
Like it was something along those lines. It was something along those lines. I think it was Rose McGowan, and it's just like, okay, yeah, that's not really like, come on.
what the fuck, right?
Like you dated him for 2 years. It's not, after the event happened, so it's not like there was, that seems to indicate there wasn't any. It wasn't exactly non-consensual, so to speak. It could have been transactional or something along those lines.
It could have been like something like the guy just saying like do this favor for me, and maybe she wasn't totally in on it. Maybe she didn't totally feel like she would just do this for no reason, but she probably wasn't the type of person who minded giving sex for favors. Maybe she probably would think to herself, he's not really my type, but I like getting sex. I like having sex, and
Like
if
getting favors.
all I have to do is to have an orgasm with a guy I don't find super attractive in order to get this role, it's probably not a big deal for me. And then afterward, I don't know, maybe Harvey really does have a magic penis or something. like
Well,
afterward, maybe she's like, "Oh, that was pretty good," and I've been working with this guy for a while. Why don't I actually date him? No, he's actually fun to be around. I don't know. I'm not saying that Harvey Weinstein is a good person. I'm saying, is it
no,
really
he's a piece of shit.
that
He's definitely a piece of shit.
a guy in power got a woman and who probably didn't mind being told and coerced to have sex? Is it so hard to believe that perhaps a
Well, not,
slut
well, it implies that it might not even have been coerced. That it might have been just transactional.
Yeah, it
Because I mean,
might have just been a slut. Just might have just been a slutty girl being told that in return for a favor, just be a prostitute. Like
favors.
yeah, like maybe she was just basically a prostitute kind of girl. A girl who's like, oh, you mean if I suck your dick, which I have no problem sucking dick on a regular basis, I will get what I care about. Okay, you want sex, I want money. You have money and have no problem giving it to me. I have the sex you want, and I have no problem giving that to you. Maybe they wanted different things, but what the other person wanted is more than okay for them to give. Sorry, but do you get me?
This sort of, yeah.
Yeah, like maybe she wasn't into him, but she wasn't afraid of having sex with someone she didn't like. It was just like a business transaction. At some points you just got to call bullshit, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's just, oh man, it is depressing.
I think it was Rose McGowan, but so just for the record, if I recall correctly, it was Rose McGowan that happened to. But it was like somebody, and the other thing is like but I mean, undoubtedly, though, Weinstein is a piece of shit because you heard the recording. I don't remember her name, but there was a recording of him like basically like trying to coerce
Oh
somebody
yeah,
into
in the
that. That was so it's like, oh Jesus Christ.
the hotel room, right? Like he was like,
In
no,
the
like
bathroom or something, right?
like yesterday you tried to touch my breast or something like that.
Yeah, and he's like, oh, so I'm sorry, he's something like that. Yeah.
Like, please just watch it. I'm gonna sit here naked. You just sit and Jake. No, please, come on, no, I won't do a thing. I promise. I swear on my children, and just please, is sit there and have a drink and watch me take a shower or something like that. It was just so weird, right?
Yeah, I was in a bathroom and there was some. Yeah, it was just like Jesus Christ, dude. Like, fucking hell.
Wait. I think I actually have that recording. I think I actually have that on my computer. Yeah, I think I do. Yeah, I do actually have that. Yeah, hold on. I'm gonna quickly play it for a sec. I can just so people know what exactly it is we're talking about and just how it is like bone showing to hear because it's just like it's too real and yet at the same time for people like us it's while we know well it's pretty normal to think of someone in Hollywood doing this because we don't do it. It's still so foreign that it still makes you feel uncomfortable that you can believe it. It's just, oh, hold on. I just, I have it on one of my videos. It's a part of my flagship series on the importance of taboos and shame. But it's,
Melissa Thompson, I think. Melissa Thompson is the one who recorded it.
oh yeah. Hold on. Let me just, this is the number. So hold on.
In the election of 1860, Abraham Lincoln said the question was whether this nation could exist.
Oh, here we go. Hold on, let me just pause it. Let me just screen share. You guys are gonna be like, yeah. She definitely has like some kind of like Eastern European accent. It sounds like.
Something I don't know exactly, but yeah.
So I never knew where we stood in the socioeconomic order. That's why I like making movies about underdogs. Imitation game, giving the king's speech and stuttering the king. The lion. To me, I'm still the underdog. I felt that way.
What do we have to do here?
Nothing. I'm gonna take a shower. You sit there and have a drink. Water.
I don't drink. Can I stay on the bar?
No, you must come here now.
No.
Please.
No, I don't want to.
I'm not doing anything with you.
I'm sorry. I cannot. No, yesterday was a kind of aggressive for me. I need to know a person's
I won't do a thing.
I don't want
Do a thing, please. I swear I won't. Just sit with me. Don't embarrass me in the hotel. I'm here all the time.
I know, but I don't want to.
Please sit there. Please. 1 minute.
No, I can't.
Go to the bathroom.
Please, I don't want to do something I don't want.
Go to the bathroom. Here, listen to me.
I want to go downstairs.
I'm not going to do anything. You'll never see me again after this. That's it. If you're embarrassing me in this hotel.
I'm not embarrassing you. It's just that I don't feel comfortable.
I mean, don't have a very good
If you don't want anything.
Please, I'm not going to do anything. I swear on my children. Please come in. On everything. I'm a famous guy.
I'm feeling very uncomfortable right
Please
now.
come in now. And 1 minute as you want to leave, when the guy comes with my
Why
ticket,
is it that you touch my feet?
please, I'm sorry. Just
Child abuse is obviously a symptom of a lot more.
There you go. That's a.
I mean, the thing was like him swearing on his children is just like, oh.
I swear on my children, I'll only rape you a little bit.
Wait, is he married? Current? Was he married?
He has children. I mean, I'm actually kind of scared about what he would do to children.
Well, I mean, what was? Well, let's see. I mean, well, my question is like, is he currently married? Let's see.
I don't know. He might. I know he was married before this incident. I don't know if they divorced after this or not.
Looks like I think he got married in 2007, and he's still married, maybe.
Perhaps. I think so. But oh my god.
Considering there's like 80, what is it, like how many women? 80 or something? Like holy shit! Why is? I'm surprised she's still there, but fuck.
Yeah, that's really dark. Anyway, this actually goes to a greater question about being out of touch. I mean, a lot of us joke about baby boomers being really out of touch. What do you think that? I mean, how out of touch do you think they are about how millennials actually are?
I mean, what do you mean? I'm not sure what you mean exactly.
Well, we're always told, that the millennials, back in my day, you had to work for a living, and we're always being told, like, that is like I don't know what age group you would fall in. What did you say?
I'm like on the back end of millennials. Like I'm like halfway between like basically on the line between millennial and Generation Z, if I recall correctly. So like right around there.
Yeah, I'm kind of similar. I'm 22. But yeah. So when it comes to us, we're always told that we're kind of lazy because we've grown up with cell phones and shit. And it's
I think that's just to be honest, I think it's just the normal age, because I mean, they were probably told by their parents they're lazy and entitled and all this other shit.
But when it comes to policy making, we're oftentimes ignored when it comes to what we actually vote for.
I mean, just because we don't vote.
Well, we do vote for a good amount, but just
not statistically, we don't vote. As a generation, we don't vote as much as elderly people, by far, percentage-wise, are the highest voting population.
Yeah, but I mean, don't a lot of young people still vote, and they vote Democrats?
Okay, so a lot of young people lean Democrat, like, yes, but they don't vote in nearly the percentage, like the ratio or whatever, that old people vote.
Do you think it was higher back in the back in like the 60s or something for young people to vote?
I don't have any. I haven't seen any statistics on that, so I won't. I don't know. I think though, if I actually, now that I think about it, I think that overall the voting percentage has gone down. Like voting participation, but I don't know about age group wise.
Okay, well, the reason why I always thought that that was kind of important to think about was because was because that I think part of the reason why maybe a lot of millennials don't vote is because well, let's think about it. We probably we live in a kind of a period of time where doing things like voting don't really seem like to be beneficial to us. It just doesn't seem.
Yeah, I mean, I mean, it's like we have shit to do basically. That's I think the general attitude.
Well, I mean, more
and not as invested either.
What it kind of meant was that when it comes to like our need to vote, well, we kind of don't see a whole lot of points in it. That regardless of what year it is or who it's for, we kind of all believe that it's kind of the same. The
Oh,
same
same
stuff.
shit, different day, basically.
Yeah, same shit, different day. Yeah.
I mean, that's probably part of it, but I mean, again, as I said, also is that younger people aren't as invested. They aren't invested in the sense of like financially. Like most old people are more likely to have homes, more likely to have like nest eggs and stuff like that. So they're more they're more focused, keyed into things that could affect them. Whereas young people, not so much.
Yeah, I know what you mean. It just seems like yeah. Well, you know what? I think it is. I think it's that because we're much poorer than a lot of other generations, where it's kind of hard for us to think to ourselves, I should vote for this person, because we don't feel like we'll ever have a place in the world nearly as much as our ancestors did. I mean, when you
The cynicism, basically.
yeah, like what's up?
This you're talking about like cynicism, basically.
Yeah, cynicism. We're kind of cynical. We believe, that what's the point in getting involved in our community and all this stuff when we spend all of our time working, and also we can pay the rents to a really shitty apartments that we can hardly ever see. The family will never have, and we oftentimes just jerk off to porn because we don't have any real way of making a real living for ourselves. Like at some point where I think that if we were to really talk to people about his issues and show them that that there is a way, I think we'd see a lot more success. But I just don't see you know a whole lot of millennials ever voting just because of this. And I think that uh, I I think that when you really think about it, I think that's a big reason why um, baby boomers are oftentimes looked at as out of touch, because they would always say the same mantra, if you work hard, you can get what you want. There's tons of videos out there talking about this. You know what I mean?
Hmm I mean, I think it's also ironic. Was the memes of like millennials are killing X or whatever too? Is like, like what is it like? Millennials are like, or not millennials. Baby boomers are decrying that millennials killing Applebee's or some shit like that. And it's just like, yeah, but it's like you just like for years, like the media was like, oh, millennials, they're spending all this money on X and X and X and blah blah blah. They should be saving. Oh wait, oh shit, they're saving money. Wait, Applebee's is dying. People aren't buying fucking diamonds anymore or some shit like that. And they're panicking. It's like the media articles that come out about this are hilarious.
Oh, like have you seen any recently?
I think the most recent one was like diamonds or like it's something, something along those lines. Like millennials aren't buying diamonds anymore, or they aren't going to Applebee's or red,
They're not
these sit
blowing
down
their money in
restaurants.
stupid shit that much richer people who can brag to their faces are spending their money on. Quick, we need to do something. This is awful. This is awful. We can't make them blow their money on things that they can't afford. And then
Yeah.
and then make fun of them when they have no money left over because they're poorer than everybody else.
Yeah.
Right?
And the other thing is also like in regards to diamonds, like realistically, one of the reasons why diamonds are so expensive is because like there's a couple of diamond companies that have a monopoly on this. Like
Isn't some kind of isn't like Denmark a huge place for that or something?
I don't know about it's De Beers.
Yeah.
Is like the main. I don't know if they so much have a monopoly anymore, but like they for a while they had a big monopoly on diamonds, and because they're an international company, they're not really what do you call it as they're international, so they don't have to obey the regulations so much because they're like hey we're based in like the Cayman Island, like we're registered in the Cayman Islands or some shit like that.
Yeah, some
And
bullshit. It's just that, come on, let's be honest, that's horse shit. But
yeah,
you get away with it.
and all these companies do it because I think Apple is like now officially registered in like Ireland or something.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
like, it's like you're not actually based in Ireland. You're just registered there, or it's just like I think there's some place in like New Jersey or something that has, or maybe it's Delaware. It might be Delaware, where there's like thousands, literally thousands of corporations registered in Delaware because it's like some favorable whatever.
Yeah. Delaware? Wait, isn't that a state?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
It's like some town or something in Delaware,
I feel
and
so
it's
bad.
the
I feel
place
like
to register.
yeah, I feel so bad for all the people in the tiny state of Delaware. As I just said, is that a state?
Yes, it's a state. It's attached to Maryland or whatever.
Yes, yes. Maryland, another place that is not a city, but is actually a state. Believe it or
Indeed.
not. I know it sounds crazy, but this is not a conspiracy theory. Maryland is actually not a city. Oh man! All right, we should be sponsored by Maryland. Today's episode was sponsored by the city, I mean state of Maryland. Yeah. Hey, by the way, this is the best way of summarizing Blasey Ford's testimony to Congress.
What, sponsored by Maryland?
To only be a dream. I made a point to burn all of the photographs. She went away and then I took a different path. I remember the face, but I can't recall the name.
Speaking of which, apparently Delaware is only 45th on the population scale. So that's probably it must be like North Dakota or something that
Yeah,
has
or
less.
Montana, where like nobody lives.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
I was actually surprised it was 45th. I was like, it's just a tiny state. But then again, it's on the East Coast,
yeah,
I suppose. So
yeah. Oh, you're gonna laugh at this.
Seems that she disappeared without a trace. Did she ever marry? Oh, what's his face? I made a point. She went away and then I took a different path. I remember the face.
But I can't remember the time, place, date, or anything else. I don't even remember what the trace looks like, but it definitely happened, guys.
God.
Oh my god, we really are progressing towards insanity.
Indeed.
Your Twitter handle was correct.
Yeah, I mean, I changed it a couple of months ago because I was just like, I have no idea what direction we're going anymore. We're we're spinning out of control.
Yeah, yeah. I'm not gonna play that song that goes "You Spin Me Round." I think it's a little too early for that. Too soon. It's too soon. It's too soon. But oh my god. Oh,
Do you remember the other, like, the doppelganger thing though? On that one guy on Twitter like posted this like 20 tweet thread of like he found some poor guy on like Facebook or something who was like friends with one of Kavanaugh's friends, and he's like, he looks the same and he's a doppelganger and he was the one that did it or whatever. Did you not hear about that?
oh my god, you need to tell me right now.
So okay, so basic. Okay, again, it's like okay, so Kavanaugh had a friend. I forget his name. It's like Judge or something or whatever. He had a so that was one of his friends, and this guy found some one of this guy. So the guy who's being accused was like like commented on like one of Kavanaugh's friends' Facebook pages or whatever. And so this guy like found him, dug into his house or whatever, and was like, "Oh, based on the description of like of Blasey Ford like running across the living room or something, like the layout of the house that she vaguely described. Hey, it fits this house too, and hey, this guy lived at this house or whatever, and hey, look, they look similar in their high school yearbook photos. So it was this guy that actually assaulted Ford, and it wasn't actually Kavanaugh and all this other stuff." And I was just like, "Holy shit, what the fuck?" Um,
Like
this is like really
either he's a super internet detective, or this is just our society and it's crumbled.
it's
Welcome.
insane. It was really stretching, like really stretching. I mean, like, okay, technically it's possible, but like, it's basically as believable as Ford's story because again, there's no physical evidence, there's nothing, and it's just, and eventually he deleted it because I think he realized like this is ground for a defamation lawsuit because you built it basically on no evidence whatsoever.
Oh yeah.
Because it's like literally, hey, look, they were friends, and he's friends with him, and maybe they went to the same high school, and oh my gosh, it could have been like. And of course, the thing is, like these houses, it could have been anybody's house because these houses are probably, what do you call it? It's fabricate preset, everything's all the same. They have probably dozens of these houses. It's just like, Jesus
Yeah.
Christ.
Like, oh my God, yeah. But here's the thing I really got to think about really, really hard. When it comes to this whole situation about, false accusations. So at what point, I'm sure there are probably some states and some counties that probably do have a law, but I think it should be a federal law that if you accuse someone of something as volatile and as visceral as rape and you lie, you should go to jail for the same amount of time that person would have gone into jail if they had been found guilty, because it just seems like bullshit that we
Something like that seems fair. Because like the thing is like an accusation like that, even unproven, even if you are acquitted or whatever, that still can be career destructive.
Yeah. And I also think that banks should not be allowed to collude. So I would make a law that says that banks are not allowed to take public funding of any sort, nor are they, so that way they don't get influenced, nor are they allowed to merge. I know it sounds weird, but I mean, to me,
Wait, what?
well, this is for like, when people like Gab get censored by having their payment processes cut off.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's too few banks to go to. But yeah,
I think banks were the ones that were doing that, right? It was like PayPal and
PayPal and Visa did it too. Visa.
right, but those aren't banks. But I mean,
Well,
I do
PayPal is not a bank, but Visa is owned. Sorry about that. Visa is a company owned underneath a bank. A bank has to be the one to own the credit card processors.
okay. Yeah, I do agree in like I think it's a good idea that like basically the federal government, has like contracts with all kinds of companies and stuff like that. And I do think that, a company should not be able to discriminate if you're getting money or contracts with the US government.
Yeah. I think that in fact, I think that the law should say the U.S. government can only make contracts between it and another company for its own use, in its own life, not for
Wait,
not
what?
like for instance, like if you wanted to create a contract to build a road, you could not then
Mhm.
continue to pay the company for anything but a set price for a set project and one payment per project. You cannot, because you cannot. I think the government shouldn't be allowed to give subsidies to something like a bank, because a bank has the ability to control resources that belong to other people. And therefore, a bank is too destructive to give government funding to, because you could have it where one governor says, I'll give you this money if you do this. So, some favors underneath the table. And in the meantime, another governor. And in the meantime, another governor might not do that. So a bank could favor one political party in order to avoid, taking away people's freedoms based on behavior and freedom of speech. I don't think a bank should be allowed to take subsidies. I think they should only be able to be paid for services that they do for the government directly. Otherwise, it could lend it to corruption and paying off people and saying, "Oh, I'll give you, some more subsidies if you just go ahead and overlook this one detail or something." You know what I mean?
Not exactly.
Uh,
No, I don't exactly get.
Banks are given lots of subsidies every year by the U.S. government, and to keep things steady. There are other companies that give
Well, the reason why is banking is really complicated in the sense because I mean there's okay, so I mean it's not just I don't know specifically about subsidies, but I mean there's the FDIC insured and stuff like that, and then there's the Federal Banking Reserve and like there's all kinds. Because when you say subsidies, usually like when you say subsidies, generally what I think of is like subsidy, like more like farming subsidies, where like they give you a certain amount of money or whatever and stuff like that. Banking is a lot more integrated and weird, basically, than just calling it subsidies. It's kind of weird calling it subsidies, because the whole relationship between the federal government and banks is kind of overlapping and weird.
I know it is really weird. Well, yeah, but I mean, okay, but let's get back to the whole trial of the century. I just think at some point, we need to really start thinking about holding women accountable for the same things. We could say, oh, this is not for women alone because we want it to pass through Congress, but we should. That will definitely be something I will definitely talk about.
Well, I mean, you could have false rape accusation from men.
Yeah, but of course you could, but it's. I mean, good luck.
Generally, generally
that's a 16-year-old girl. She jumped on my 22-year-old cock and raped me. That underage teenager totally raped me, guys.
I mean, it's generally not going to be as whatever. I mean, there was the credible one where the woman had a fucking machete or whatever. I was like, holy fuck!
Whoa! I'm sorry, I did not hear about this. Go on.
I think this was a couple months ago, and there was some outrage because the newspapers didn't call it rape, and I think this might have been because it legally speaking, it technically wasn't rape, but it was rape. Like she basically said she had a machete and she was like, "You're gonna have sex with me, or else I'm gonna fucking cut you," and they did, and he's like, "I totally did not want sex," and she had a fucking machete, and I was like, "Okay, that sounds pretty credible." Holy fuck, this insane bitch.
If this guy had a squirt gun and painted it black, he'd be in jail, right?
I mean, she did get charged or whatever. She did get charged and arrested, and I don't know if she got convicted, but she did get arrested. But holy fucking shit!
Oh my god! Oh my god! Well, I'm just saying, if she does not go to jail for this, or if she did not go to jail for this, what the fuck? Okay, well, hey, excuse me, ladies. Get down on your knees and start sucking on Papa Jeremy's dick. No, it's not rape. I didn't force myself on you. I used a weapon. You can see it from his previous, like what the fuck is come on? That is rape. That is rape. How does this? Wait, we need to find this out. What was the name of the case? Did this woman actually get away with it?
I just look up woman machete and rape, and I'm sure it'll come up in the news. It was pretty. It kind of got spread around a little bit.
machete woman man.
It's in Montana, I think.
Oh, yep, Montana woman machete. Uh, rapes. Yep, there we go. Okay, so machete wielding Montana woman forced X to have sex. Oh boy. Oh, so it's an X. It's an X.
Apparently,
Oh,
she broke into his house and like made him like this is like home invasion plus rape.
oh, oh my God. Oh my God. That is. Oh my God. The only thing I can think of right now is her breaking in and saying, "You think you can give me dick that good and not continue?" Just like
Yeah,
like someone be like, "You think you can tell me you love me and leave me?" Or something. Oh,
apparently she made him do it twice,
whoa.
and like she
Hey, you
bit
know,
him.
when you're gonna rape your ex boyfriend, I mean, come on. I mean, you can't do it once. He could just do it the one time and get it over with. You got to make sure he means it. You got to do it twice. Oh my God.
Anyway, so the point was just like yeah, I mean, so anyway, the reason why is legally speaking it's not defined as rape, but like it really should be.
It
Like that
should.
that is rape. That
Like
is
if you
straight up rape.
well, I think that we should say that if someone is being threatened in a way that clearly shows that their other option in declining sex is death or or blackmail, that it should be considered.
I'm not a legal expert, however you need to word it or whatever, but that falls under the umbrella, all right?
That has to fall under
Very clearly.
what the fuck? What are
You
they
need to
up
stretch
there
the
like
Venn diagram to include this case.
yeah. Like what the like this woman, the picture of this woman, I'm gonna show it. Hold on, I'm gonna screen share this shit. The picture of this woman is just so perfect. Like she looks like this cute girl who probably could get a guy, but she's not like super hot, so she's like, decent 7 out of 10. And she definitely looks like one of those crazy bitches who's like,
Well, I mean,
you.
she did hold a machete to a guy's neck, so
I mean, yeah, but she just fits the description. Like if like a cop was told, "We have a crazy bitch on the loose." Repeat, crazy bitch on the loose. That is all. Like this woman would be the first one profiled.
but by the way, I was like in a like a warehouse store or whatever. A machete is like $5. Like it explains so much to me because like you have these like you hear about like armies in Africa like arming people with machetes and it's like it's $5 like
Yeah,
so it's like it makes so much sense to me why people are armed with machetes.
yeah, yeah. I mean, like think about all the weapons that. Wait. Now I guess we need machete control. I'm sorry, Danny Trejo, but even your name can be triggering. Because you play the character Machete.
Yeah.
Yeah, but we don't.
Machete kills.
But we don't need hammer control. It's always hammer time. Oh fuck!
I mean, because the thing is, you could use the same logic. It's like, okay, like what is the purpose of a machete in the middle of Montana? Like there isn't a jungle to cut down. I'm sorry, you don't need a machete, right? So you can make all the justification for
Well,
machete control or whatever the hell you want to call it.
you really wanted to get to it. I don't know. Maybe you were chopping down like the access on a tree in your yard or something. I don't know. Or maybe like there's crops there. I think right. There's a lot of crops in Montana. So I don't know. Maybe it's
Yeah, but that's what like a scythe is for, or like a giant
yeah,
combine machine. Like
I
you could
know.
easily make the justification.
Well, you could also say you were building something. You know, you
Mm.
need you need a
I
long
mean,
blade.
then again, as we've seen, England has made this argument and is now they're banning knives. They're banning. It's like literally. I think I looked at the law and it's like it's literally anything that could cause that is intended for bodily harm. So like like online, there's these like metal bars or whatever, like these small metal bars that you hold, like on your keychain or whatever, and it's like literally a metal bar, and you can like hit people with it. All right,
You could do
those
come on.
those are illegal. Like England has banned metal bar keychains.
Oh, well, I mean, come on. You could take a bike lock and do this. You could.
Yeah,
literally-
well, I mean, the wording is intended to cause harm or whatever.
Yeah, but I mean, come on. At some point, you just got to tell these retards, like, they're going to find a way. They'll find a lot of ways, too. Like, if you make them desperate, they'll find a lot of ways.
I think one of the worst, one of the saddest examples was in London. Somebody got stabbed under a sign that said like "We're stabbing free for 100 and something days" or whatever. It's just like, or not even 100 something. It was like maybe it was like a couple, 20 days or something. We've been stabbing free, yay! And then they get stabbed right under that sign.
Oh, my God. That's just... Oh, Jesus. Okay, so let's read this. A 19-year-old Montana woman was arrested Friday for allegedly lying in wait for her ex-boyfriend with a machete and forcing him to have sex with her.
Twice.
Stunning and brave. The alleged victim, who had reportedly been in a relationship with Samantha Ray. Samantha, that bitch. Nobody ever liked Samantha. Mears for 7. Wait, Samantha Ray Myers. I'm gonna say it's Myers. For 7 years. Before they broke up. Well, okay, that's definitely a long time. That being said, bitch needs to get her some new dick.
Yeah, but she was clearly after the old one.
Yeah, she's like, I can't move on from such great dick. It's too much. My extremely telling clothing style will not allow it. I mean, I get there in Montana, but fuck, that looks like what all crazy bitches wear when they're about to go on a murder spree. Some dorky looking like poncho shit or something. I don't know. I guess that's just me stereotyping. Oh man. Told police he came in home Friday night and Myers came out from behind his bedroom door holding a machete, which then she placed to his neck as she ordered him to take off his clothes. The Great Falls Tribune reports. She allegedly took off her own pants and forced him to have intercourse with her, continuing to hold a machete on him the whole time. Reports from KRTV, when he tried to push her off, she allegedly bit his arm and continued attempting to have sex with. I'm guessing she was on top, riding him.
Probably.
I mean, come on, how else would it be done, So,
yeah.
So,
my question is, how in the world did he put up with her for 7 years if she's this crazy?
Like, there are no signs?
Like, no, I'm sure there were signs, but he put up with it for 7 years.
Oh my god. Yeah. Oh, that's just Samantha. She sharpens her blades every other Thursday. Yeah. Oh, no, don't worry. She has an imaginary friend, 7 of them. But sometimes according to her, every once in a while she takes on their personalities. It's no big deal. All those voices, it's not a big deal. Come on. Don't be sexist. Then and they started arguing. Wait. Okay. Then she started arguing. The band says, and Myers allegedly pulled some trim off the wall and peed on the bed. What? Wait, what? Pulled some trim off the wall and peed. Oh, she did. Well, oh my god.
Okay.
I thought it was the dude, but it's her. Oh my god. So she pulled some whatever off the wall. I don't even know what they mean by trim. And then she decided it's that, hey, this is a good place for me to pee in front of my masters.
I mean, maybe I think it's curtains or something like that. I don't know, but anyways, but yeah.
like, oh my god! She was marking her territory. I just got that now.
Hmm?
Oh my god! She peed on their bed. Like this bed, and it is our bed. The alleged victim was able to take pictures of Myers sitting naked on the bed, wielding a machete, which he provided to police. Finally, he was able to call 911 and pretend to be talking to a friend, and so Myers wouldn't know. He called the police. Oh no, man. Oh, don't worry. She's just got her machete again. Nothing normal. Nothing abnormal. Hey, can you come over for you in a little bit? And bring the boomstick. Do you think
It
that?
was just just edge play. What are you talking about?
Yeah. Yeah. We call the police to make it extra risky.
Jesus. Anyways.
Just imagine this crazy bitch right here sitting on a piss covered bed. It's being like, I love you, sweetheart. Completely ass naked with a machete. This literally sounds like how Kathy Bates started up her career in Misery. Oh, I'm gonna finish this. Myers, who was also charged with a felony, with felony strangulation. Oh my god! Oh wait, hold on. Finally, he was able to call 911. Okay, he and his sister. Oh man, I wonder how much his sister's like. This bitch is crazy. Run. Like, come on. This is not like how old is his sister? I want to know how old this dude's sister is. If they're anywhere near the same age, and she was his sister, I hope to God she was saying, "No, I'm a girl. I know crazy bitches when I see one. You need to let Samantha go. She is a crazy bitch. Like, come on, be a good sister." Who had arrived during he and his sister who had arrived home during the ordeal escaped the house just as the police got there. Myers, who was charged with felony strangulation against the same man in April, now faces six new charges, including assault, burglary, and
See, this is what I'm fucking talking about. You just said that she was charged with felony strangulation. So this has been going on for like 7. Oh my god. How did he deal with this shit?
Well, this is not a first time thing. If
Yeah,
she
this is a separate incident.
yes,
Oh my god.
this is an isolated first incident. This is the first time she got caught. Oh my god! Like
No, second time. Second, because she got charged with felony strangulation, and then you said, and then like in April, so this was like a couple months before or something like that.
yeah, like just like some like coworker at like whatever
No,
time.
against him. You said against him, right?
Oh, it was against him. Never mind. I'll pull the article back up some other time for my own
See,
research.
he's been dealing with this shit for 7 years.
Yeah, she's like sweetheart, you can't say that to me. I love you so much. I love you so much. No, I can't stand it. And like she's squeezing harder on his neck. I love you too much to let you talk to me like this.
Holy hell.
Hey man, I think I gotta hang up anyway. Okay, I'm sorry, but that
Okay.
was interesting as fuck. Uh, see you, man.
Okay, all right.
Bye.
Later.